Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Hello, Nevada. I'm thrilled to be with you tonight or today, depending on where you are. But I will tell you, it's been very interesting because there are a lot of people on the phone right now, and I very much appreciate it. We have a critical decision facing our country, the most important election of our nation's history and in our nation's history. 64 days, we're going to win, hopefully, really win big. And in Nevada, we got to get that victory. So important. We got to do it. That'll be the difference between winning and maybe not winning. But we have to win against Joe Biden and the radical socialist left. Your whole lives will be changed. Our whole country will be changed and destroyed. I won't be doing things like taking the word God out of the Pledge of Allegiance, as you know they did in their caucus with the Democrats at the Democrat National Convention. We had a great convention. We, as you probably read, we outdrew them very significantly in terms of viewers, and we outraised them significantly on fundraising, and our poll numbers have gone extremely high very rapidly at a record clip, and we're doing really well, but we have to keep it going. We have a little more than 2 months. It's hard to believe it's coming down so quickly. It's coming down to that final period of time. And I will tell you, this is the most important election in the history of our country. And we just had an important one 4 years ago. And I would have never thought I'd say this, but this is the most important election because the radical left, they'll do things that are, you see it going, everything they're running is dangerous, bad, and falling apart. Joining us on tonight's call are some of your great Republican leaders who are fighting right by my side. Congressman Mark Amadei, who's a fantastic warrior. Our congressional candidates, Dan Rodemer, and he really is. He's done a fantastic job of fighting. He's going to fight. He's going to win. Jim Marchant. And Jim has been in there between Dan and Jim. I think you're going to have a big success. I think you're going to have a really great success. And I'm going to be with them. I'm going to be there with them very shortly. And we'll be campaigning. And I think we're going to campaign very successfully. We're going to take back the House. We are. And Mark has been an absolute warrior, I'll tell you, and I appreciate it very much. We also have Nevada Republican Party Chairman Michael McDonald, that you all know, and he tells me things are going very well in the state. And if you look at today's polls, you'll see they're going very well all over the country, but we still have to get it there. And my campaign co-chair, a very well-known man, Adam Laxalt, and he's been great. And I appreciate, Adam, you being on the phone. They're working with me to fight legislation that your Democrat governor rammed through to flood your state with unsolicited mail-in voting. My campaign is suing to protect your vote. You can help me in this fight, and that's vote as early as possible. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. You get out there and just vote as early as possible. And in order to have the confidence that your vote is going to count, you can mail in your unsolicited ballot very early. You can do your solicited ballot. That would be, I call it the absentee ballot, but I think a solicited ballot, that's where you request it. You can mail that back, get it and mail it back. It's a much more fair way of doing it, as you know. And then you can go to vote on Election Day, and if the system is correct like they say, and it should be correct, they say it's correct, you go to vote, and if your ballots are in, if they count it, they will have counted your vote, and you won't be able to vote, which is good. And if you do vote and they're late, which is pretty unlikely, I guess, but if they're late, they won't be able to count the ballot because you will have voted. So it'll be one vote, and that's what we want. But that's the way that I would suggest that it would be the best by far to make sure that your vote counts. And Americans should know that their ballot is counted. So if your ballot is counted, you're not going to be able to vote. It's very simple. I think that it's very important that you make sure that everything is 100% because there are a lot of bad rumors that go on in that state, and we want to make sure that we win and that it's not going to be taken away from us. We've accomplished more than any administration in history in the first 3.5 years. We secured our borders. We built the wall, as you know. It'll be finished very soon. It's tremendous numbers along the border. We have the best numbers that we've had, record numbers. That's largely because we're up to over 300 miles of wall already. And again, it'll be completed very shortly, but it's really had an impact on people illegally crossing the border. We brought back our manufacturing jobs at a very high clip. We rebuilt our military and wiped out ISIS. We killed al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the two biggest terrorist leaders in any time, and we killed both. One was ISIS, and the other was the biggest of them all, Soleimani. We knocked them out both. We appointed, by the time we are finished, 300 new federal justices. That will be by what looks like the end of the first term. We will have about 300 new judges, and we'll have two great Supreme Court justices that you know. We're very proud of our choices and our picks. These are great people. So end of the term, we should be at about 300 new judges and two Supreme Court justices. That's a lot. It's about a record. I think there may be one person that's close, but we won't even discuss that. But that's a record, or about a record. Passed the biggest tax cuts and regulation cuts in the history of our country. Got the biggest tax cuts, and they want to raise your taxes very substantially. Biden wants to lift up your taxes, raise them, wants to put regulation cuts, which will destroy our jobs and everything else. We replaced NAFTA, fixed broken trade deals, and we stood up to China. They paid us billions and billions of dollars in tariffs, and we gave a lot of that money to our farmers, $28 billion to our farmers, because they were targeted by China, and nobody else would have been able to do that. And our farmers are doing very well right now. Achieved American energy independence, and now we're number one in the world, which people are so surprised to hear. But we have American energy independence for the first time. We protected our great Second Amendment. It's right to bear arms, and we are protecting your right to have a gun. It's the Second Amendment, and anybody else that would have been it would have been either gone or obliterated. If they get in, it will be gone or obliterated, and it'll take place very quickly. We eliminated Obamacare's unfair individual mandate penalty. Not only unfair, the most unpopular aspect of it, which really obliterated Obamacare. We cut drug prices, and we're now in the process of cutting them more than anybody thought even imaginable, 50, 60, 70%. And we're doing that by using favored nations clauses and things that nobody would have used before or ever even thought about. So the drug prices have come down last year. First time in 51 years that drug prices came down. But now we're going for the big one, and that's by using rebates and also by favored nations clauses. We protected people with pre-existing conditions, and we always will. There won't be anything that's passed without pre-existing conditions. And all of these things we did despite the fact that, as you know, 4 years ago, they spied on our campaign. They got caught. So let's see what happens. But they spied on our campaign. They've done things that nobody in history has even thought about doing. We passed a very, very incredible right to try. You know what that is. I talk about it a lot. The right for you to use some of our great medicines and the research we do, the doctors. We have the best labs, the best everything in the world. And if it's not passed by the FDA, if somebody's terminally ill, they have the right now to get a drug, which before they had to travel to faraway lands, and most people couldn't afford to do that, but it wasn't very good anyway. But we have right to try, and it's had an incredible impact. So we passed that. It's all done. We passed the VA accountability and VA choice. Nobody thought either of those were a possibility. Now people are accountable for taking care of our vets, and if you have to wait online for days and weeks and months for a doctor, you go out and get a private doctor, and we pay the bill if you're a vet. So we take care of our vets. At 91% approval rating recently, the highest ever by a lot. I mobilized the largest response since World War II to fight the China virus, and we are really doing well. Our numbers are excellent, really, really good. and hopefully we're rounding the final turn on that disaster given to us by China. That was a total disaster, but we did things that nobody thought possible, including ventilators. We had ventilators that were the cupboards. I always say the cupboards were pretty bare, and they were virtually bare, and certainly of ventilators and other things. And we worked with the governors. We made a lot of governors look good. Frankly, some governors that shouldn't have looked very good, we made them look good. We supplied them with what they needed because their cupboards were definitely bare, and they shouldn't have been. We look to, in our second term, create 10 million new jobs in the first 10 months. We're setting a record in the last quarter. We have over 9 million jobs in the last quarter. So we're going to be back. I know your state very well. You know I'm there all the time. It's great. I know what's good, what's bad. And I tell you, we're going to take the good. We're going to create at least 10 million new jobs in the first 10 months, create tax credits for companies that bring back jobs from China and other countries, and impose tariffs on companies that ship our jobs away and don't treat us like they should. We're going to take care of that, and that one's an easy one. We're going to be proposing and getting new tax cuts in addition to the cuts that you've already gotten, which, again, are the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. Fully fund law enforcement and hire more police as opposed to defunding police. They want to defund the police. We want to hire the police. But we're going to fund our law enforcement, take care of our law enforcement, just like I did with all of the gear and equipment. We had millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars of equipment, military equipment. It was excess military equipment. We gave it to the police. It was sitting in storage houses all over the United States. We gave it to our police. Further lower drug prices and health insurance premiums are coming down, and they're coming down at a clip like never seen before. We're going to provide school choice for every student in America, something that the Democrats are totally against, and it's one of the most important things that we can do. Expand opportunity zones, end sanctuary cities, bring NASA back into full operation, which it is now. We're at a point where we're just about at full operation. We'll be landing on the moon. We'll be landing on Mars before anybody else. And ensure that America is treated like it should always be, because they have not treated us, other countries. They have not treated us the way they should. Trade deals. We're doing new trade deals. We did the USMCA, which was incredible, got rid of the worst trade deal ever made. It was an incredible deal, and it's been great for Nevada. And if you look at the Biden-Sanders unity platform, we call it the manifesto, they want to abolish borders. They want to take down the wall. Can you believe that? Take down the wall, which is having such a great impact. And again, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally. They want to abolish immigration detention. They want to take away your union health care. So important. They want to take away your union health care if you're in the union for socialized medicine and medical and health care. They want to take it away. And the union people, that's why they didn't want to support Joe Biden. Nothing's going to be changed. They wanted to support Bernie Sanders, I know, in the primary. But they want to take away, and they're going to do that 100%. They want to do that. And so for the union members that are on, they're going to take away your health care. And for so many others, they want to take away 180 million people private health care. They have a private health care that they really like, and they want to take it away. So union members, they're taking away your health care, and you have a good health care system, good health care. I know it very well. And they also want to take away private health care from 180 million people. They want to stop all deportations, end prosecution of illegal border crosses, support sanctuary cities, which is just supporting crime, incentivize illegal alien child smuggling. They want to expand asylum for all illegal aliens. These are things that are just unthinkable, so many of them. Cancel all asylum cooperation agreements in the Western Hemisphere so that when we want to bring people back, and they could be murderers, they could be many different things, and now they get taken back and we bring them back. Taxpayer-funded lawyers for all illegal aliens. So on top of everything else now, they come in and they want to give taxpayer-funded lawyers to people that come into our country illegally. They want to abolish immigration enforcement against illegal workers, grant work permits for illegal aliens, and that's competing with your jobs, which is not a good thing. People competing very strongly for your jobs. They want to give government health care to illegal aliens. All of these things are not affordable. That's why your taxes are going to be raised to a point that is unthinkable. They want to give federal student aid and free community college to illegal aliens. They want to sign up all new illegal immigrants to welfare immediately and end requirement for immigrant self-sufficiency and maximize all welfare payments to illegal aliens. You hear of these things. They want to end travel bans from jihadist regions. We have a travel ban, including from jihadist regions. They want to grant mass amnesty, vastly expand the low-skilled immigration within the United States, and no merit whatsoever. Increase refugee admissions by 700%, and from a law enforcement standpoint, they will end up defunding your police or depleting your police. They want to end cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals onto the streets, abolish the death penalty, appoint social justice prosecutors to free violent criminals. They want violent criminals to be released. It's just crazy what they're doing. End mandatory minimums. They want to incentivize prison closures so that people that come in, or bad people generally, there are no prisons. They want to get rid of the prison system. They want to free federal housing for former inmates. So you get all of this free housing. They want to create housing for inmates. They want to do more for inmates than they do for you. It is crazy. They want to abolish energy. They want to end fracking. They want to stop exploration. They want to get away from fossil fuels. Your energy bills will go up at a level in the history of our country. There won't be anything like it. And the beautiful thing is we are now energy independent. So for the first time, we're energy independent. We don't need all of these countries in faraway lands, and they want to end all of that. They want to abolish a very important thing, school choice, so important. They want to abolish charter schools, and frankly, if you look at your certain areas in the suburbs, they will be destroyed. You won't have suburbs as you know them any longer because they want to continue with a policy that I totally ended, but they want to build low-income housing in the suburbs, which has been a disaster. That was a disaster from day one. So all of those things they want to do, and we have done things like nobody has done in the first 3.5 years. There's been nothing like what we've been able to do, and we have a tremendous amount to go. It's really important that you get out and vote. You have, whether it's for Congress or whether it's for the president, but we are making our country great again. That's exactly what we want to do, and that's our theme from day one, and that's exactly what's happening. We got hit with the China virus. It slowed things down, to put it mildly. We had the greatest economy in history, the greatest in the history of our country, and then we got hit with the China virus, and we went to a different stance. We went to a very protective stance. We're now opening up our country, and we're setting records in doing it, especially with, if you look at the retail sales, it was a record. Employment was a record for the quarter. Numbers like we haven't seen before. We're opening up very fast. It's a V-shape. They all said you wouldn't get a V-shape. A V-shape is a rapid opening. But we saved millions of lives by the way we've done it. And now soon we're going to have a vaccine, very, very soon. They're in stage 3 trials already, most of them. And soon you're going to have a vaccine, and you already have therapeutics. We have great therapeutics, and the numbers are really, really much different than you would ever even believe possible. We're among the best in the world. The number-wise, we're among the best in the world. So I want to thank everybody. Again, it's a tremendous number of people on the call. I want to thank you all for being on the call. So important to get out and vote. And be careful with those unsolicited ballots. Go out and make sure that they're counted. You got to make sure that they're counted, because there are a lot of tricks being played, in my opinion, in your state. This was all very quickly done. It was very hastily done, and it's disgraceful that they're allowed to do it. We're in court over it. We'll see what happens with respect to the court case, but it's a very big case, and maybe we'll do well because on the merits we should win. But do it as we say. Just make sure that ballot is counted. And the one way you can do that is to go and vote. If it isn't counted, if it's not counted, that's you're going to be able to vote. You're going to be able to cast your vote. You don't want to have them take your vote away. So again, it's an honor speaking to everybody. We are working very hard. We will never ever let you down. We haven't let you down with whether it's tax cuts or regulation cuts or making sure that your economy boomed. Last year you had the best year in the history of your state. And I'll tell you, next year it's going to go even better, assuming somebody doesn't come in and raise your taxes like the other side wants to do. We're cutting your taxes. We're giving substantial tax decreases next year. Next year we'll be applying, actually in the not-too-distant future, to do substantial tax decreases in addition to what you've already gotten. So I just want to thank everybody very much for being on the call. Get out there, vote November 3rd. So important. Go out and do your ballots the way you have to do your ballots. Make sure everything is perfect and make sure they count. And it's an honor speaking to everybody. I will see you soon. I'll be there pretty soon, and I hope to see as many of you as I can. Thank you all for being on the line. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the event has ended. If you'd like to support the president to make America great again, press 1 now to let him know he can count on your support. The liberal media is a 24-hour attack dog for the socialist working to defeat the president. If he can count on you to donate just a few dollars to help get the truth to the American people, press 2 now. The silent majority needs to speak up on Election Day. Join our team now as a Trump team leader by pressing 3 to help get our message out to your neighbors. Finally, the president needs everyone on this call to text Trump to 88022. Thank you, and God bless America.